Baby. 35-31. Down goes the Badgers. Last three plays of the game. Jordan Jefferson gets the strip sack. Mekhi Wingo gets the sack. And then Greg Penn, to end it all, gets a sack to end it as the LSU Tigers win 35-31 against the Wisconsin Badgers. We'll talk about it all here today. Garrett Nussmeier getting his first start, going for 395 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Kyron Lacy with a really good game. Chris Hilton with a massive catch there at the end and a touchdown, has 56 yards. Brian Thomas Jr., 8 catches, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Look, man, I mean, you needed a moral victory to some extent with Jane Daniels not playing. This team continued to fight throughout the entire game. I know it's Wisconsin. I know your defense at times still sucked today, and they did suck. But there at the end, they stood up. Tanner Mordecai had 378 passing yards, the Wisconsin quarterback, and 3 touchdowns. Your secondary was not good. I mean, it was not good. But LSU mixed some things up today. We'll talk a lot about what we saw throughout the game. Throughout the game. We will get to your comments, thoughts, and concerns. If you have a question, thought, or concern, the easiest way for it to be read on tonight's show or today's show is by sending us a super chat like Michael Morse just did with a $199 super chat and says, "Let's frickin' go." Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So listen. Throughout the entire, we can start and talk about it. Bring in your super chats. You get your questions read, thoughts, concerns, all that. But let's go through the entirety of it. To start the game, let me say this too. Everybody do us a favor by hitting it. See, it's been a while since we've done a post-game show, so I'm a little rusty. Everybody do us a favor by hitting the like and share. If you're on Facebook, hit that like button, hit that share button. Share to all those social media pages. Share to your own social media pages. If you're watching us, listening to us on YouTube, like, subscribe, notification bell, wherever you listen to podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. As every post-game show that we do, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, is always brought to you by our good friends over at betonline.ag. Betonline.ag. Use that promo code BELIEVE50. That's BELIEVE50 at checkout. You'll get a 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, where the action starts. Let's talk about it. So the game really started off slow for LSU. Did not look good in the first quarter. Quite honestly, you had a horrible first quarter. You are unable to score. You come out. You have to punt. I thought the first drive from Nuss in his first ever start was not bad, but defense was atrocious, giving up the early touchdown. They allowed 2 passing plays in that first drive for 61 yards, both combining for 61 yards and a touchdown. LSU offense comes right back out. They can't do anything. They go 3 and out, have to punt. Second possession defensively. You actually get a 3 and out. So it wasn't that bad. Okay, well, maybe you can go down and score. But the entire first quarter, you can't do anything. You can't run the football effectively, which is something that we're actually going to talk about a little bit here tonight too. LSU did not run the ball effectively whatsoever, in my opinion, today. I mean, look, they ran the ball 25 times for 97 yards. It was not good enough, in my opinion. But when they needed it most, they found ways to do it and pick up crucial first downs. Going into the second quarter, though, it seemed like the team started settling in a little bit as Garrett Nussmeier would come out firing at all cylinders, hitting Kyron Lacy for 24 yards, hitting Mason Taylor, who had a pretty big game considering how he's done this year so far, or not even so far. We're at the end of the season. But he had an 18-yard catch. And then you get down to the 1-yard line, and Harold Perkins Jr. hit sticking somebody, getting in for the touchdown. Tigers get on the board. You get another stop on Wisconsin. They missed the field goal. You'd come right back around. This was the crucial, to me, this was the drive that turned everything around and what I thought about Garrett Nussmeier. Because on the sixth possession of the game, you get a couple little dink down throws. You get a pass interference on Kyron Lacy. Kyron Lacy then either you could consider it a drop. I thought the pass was behind him. It was a bad throw by Nussmeier, but Brian Thomas Jr. gets a 17-yard catch. Williams gets a 12-yard run. Here was the biggest thing, and what I saw in the development of Garrett Nussmeier today after he calmed down. Guys, he hit Caleb Jackson on a little dump-off pass when you're down 7, okay, goes for 13. Caleb Jackson gets a run in, then very next play for a score. A lot of times, Garrett would just chunk it all over the place, no holds bar, wouldn't care, but sometimes you just got to pick up first downs and move the chains. He did that a lot today, which showed the progression of this team, like showed the progression of him. And so I thought that all around Garrett had a really good day. To be honest with you, I thought the entire passing game was really good. I know that you won't have Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas anymore, and you're going to have to figure out who your number one is. But Garrett had a great day. I thought there was a lot of great play calls, even some of them that weren't greatly executed, like the double reverse pass that Garrett Nussmeier just threw completely into the other zip code, had no business throwing it, had Chris Hilton Jr. wide open, but it was what it was. But LSU would go down on the Caleb Jackson run in and tie the game. LSU at no point until the very end led at all until the fourth quarter. But I got to be real with you. When Wisconsin got the ball back in the second quarter and scored their only touchdown of the second quarter, and they go into halftime 21-14, just being honest with you, I did not feel good about it at all. I just like, man, they get the ball coming out at halftime. What's going to happen here? And then something crazy happened. You give up a 33-yard run for a touchdown coming out of half. Guys, you're down 28-14, and it's not looking good whatsoever. But Garrett Nussmeier was in his zone. Dude, from the sixth possession on, so right before halftime on, I know that he threw a pick. I know he threw an interception. I mean, it was honestly not a great decision. But he comes right down after getting the ball back, okay? He throws a 38-yard touchdown pass to Brian Thomas Jr., okay? The very next possession that he would have, he would throw a touchdown to Chris Hilton, the one on the back left part of the end zone that got reviewed that was not overturned, okay? Wisconsin goes down and kicks a field goal. It's good. Now you wind up having a punt. You have the turnover in there. Aaron Anderson gets hit. The ball comes out. You had some very tough drives, but when it mattered most, Brian Thomas Jr. at the end of the game, let's talk about that last drive, the 13th possession of the game. Garrett misses Chris Hilton, the 98-yard drive, which is a legacy drive. So this is what you need to know about Garrett Nussmeier, which is going to be the legacy for him all offseason. The first play he throws the pass to Chris Hilton, and I'm like, man, he's got him wide open. You got to go 98 yards. Just try to get first downs. Well, Brian Kelly knew exactly what he was doing because he gets 2 runs in there. Williams goes for 9 and then goes for 1. Garrett has a throwaway. But Kyron Lacy had a massive day. Massive day for number 2. He gets a 37-yard reception. The very next play, Chris Hilton gets the go route, the bomb from Garrett Nussmeier. Beautiful pass. A little bit behind him, okay? Could have led him a little bit more, but a great catch by Chris Hilton Jr. for 43 yards, a 3-yard run by Williams, and then a Brian Thomas Jr. touchdown. That is the legacy drive. So you really feel good about and really and truthfully, against a team in defense, guys, Wisconsin's defense was not bad this year. at all. They're actually a pretty darn good defense. And Garrett goes out there and throws for 395. We're going to do this. I'm going to show you the stats here just to wrap it all up in a bow. But Garrett Nussmeier goes 31 of 45. Got to get a little bit better there. Missed some passes he had no business missing. 395, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Josh Williams leads the way in rushing with 51 yards and no touchdowns. Caleb Jackson, who I thought would get more touches in this game, did not. 2 carries, 15 yards and a score. I do think that you got to get him some more touches. Logan Diggs, who, guys, I don't know if he takes another snap as an LSU Tiger. Had 1 carry, 1 yard. He got hit. He ran out. You know, what is his decision with and look, I'm going to tell you, with these 2-time transfer rules and you being able to play next year, what does he do? You know, does he go in the draft? Does he go back in the portal? I don't know, but it does not see, if you follow him on Twitter, it does not seem like Logan Diggs wants to be here. Quite honestly, you don't need him. I'm just being real. You don't need him. Is he a good back? Yeah. Is he somebody that you would want on this team? Sure. But his actions and things that he's saying on social media, he goes out there, he gets hit, and he's like, oh, I got a little, I get hit in my thigh, I don't want to play. He runs off. Good on him. Good on him. We'll see you. We'll see you. The only thing that I would say offensively before we move to defense, the only thing I would say is you did not run the ball effectively enough, in my opinion, that gave me a lot of, like, I'm going to need to see a little bit more there. I don't know how you feel, but to me, I just did not feel like you got the running game going enough. Okay, guys, you didn't run for 100 yards in this game. And one thing that we'll talk about all off season, not going to start it today because you won. Am I being a little nitpicky? Maybe. But Jayden Daniels covered up a lot of sins in the run game. A lot of sins in the running game. You're going to have to throw the ball that much to win games next year. I mean, because you got pretty much your entire offensive line coming back. You got a stable of running backs that will be here with Caden Durham, Caleb Jackson, Trey Hiley. Josh Williams says that he's leaning on coming back. What does Noah Cain do? The bottom line is you got to be able to run the ball a little bit more effectively. You can't throw the ball 40 plus times a game and sustain wins. You're going to have to be able to run the clock down, play a little bit of keep away. I thought the O-line did good. They kind of just ran the same inside zone all day long. They didn't mix anything up in the running game, and that's not good. And then you went for it on 4th down, and remember the 4th down call that LSU had, not the one in the end zone, but the 4th down run that you had where you're going underneath center and a big jumbo package and you're handing the ball off. I know Charles Turner got absolutely blasted, and that's on him. But, guys, you've never done that all year long. Why start now? You want to talk about going under center. Oh, I don't understand. If you're going to go under center, do the bush push. Do not. Guys, they ran a power zone blocking scheme, 4th and 1. Both teams got their jumbo package in. It's a horribly called play. Should not have run it. And you got pushed around a little bit sometimes in the running game. You got to get better there. All right. Overall, offensively, Garrett Nussmeier showed me everything that I wanted to see. Are there areas and things that he has to get better at? Yes. But, guys, that's his first start. In his first start, he throws for 395 yards. 395 yards. You can't – I'm not like – that's a hell of a performance. Anybody taking anything away from Garrett Nussmeier is a buffoon. Can you be nitpicky? Can you say he's got to do this, and this a little bit better? Moving into next year, having a big offseason? Sure, 1,000%. But, guys, you just got back-to-back years with 10 wins under Brian Kelly. Back-to-back years, you got 10 wins, and the quarterback play – let's call it what it is pretty steady. more than steady. It's above steady. You got one dude winning a Heisman and another guy, if he figures some things out and gets more game reps and experience, because Garrett Nussmeier's got the tools where he might not have been ready to start the year a year ago. Not this year, but a year ago. Garrett Nussmeier was not ready. So when you ask me, and you're going to ask me this tomorrow when we go live on the show, what do you think about the OC job? What do you think about Cortez? What do you think about Joe Sloan? The combination of those two guys. You know what I'm going to tell you? The progression I've seen from Garrett Nussmeier, the progression that I've seen from guys like Kyron Lacy and Brian Thomas Jr. tells me everything I need to know about Cortez Hankton and Joe Sloan teaming up to be co-OCs. Everything I need to know. I would not be surprised. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I would not be surprised if tomorrow that's permanent. And you go into 2024 co-OCs. You got both coordinators talking about how they they work together and they complement one another. Guys, they had a really good day. I mean, they got to do some different. They got to do some things better. You're playing a Wisconsin team that didn't have many opt-outs in year one under Luke Fickell. They're not a bad team. They're not better than you, but they're not a bad team. I like what I saw. Let's move over to the defensive side of things very quickly because I've already made this known publicly. I'm going to let it be known again. So there's a couple things here. Multiple things can be true at once. And I don't want to, because I'm going to say something, okay? And two things can be true at once. I do like some of the play calls that Matt House ran out there with today. I expected more from guys like Ashton Stamps. I saw with my own eyes. It's not just me. We've brought guests on this show who said the same exact thing. Thought Ashton Stamps, the way that he performed in practice against guys like Brian Thomas Jr., I thought maybe he had taken the next step. Well, we're going to have to reevaluate that. Javian Toviano, I don't think it's a boundary corner. They're going to have to figure something out there because he's not a boundary corner. I like the game plan that they had. I actually loved it, to be honest with you. But I am a guy, personally, have said this for years since we started doing a daily show back in 2020. I want you to send pressure all night long. They did that. There were times that you could not get home. There were a lot of times that you missed tackles. There are a lot of times that I thought that Matt House put players in a position to make plays, and they didn't. Stay with me. Just stay with me. Don't go in the comments absolutely killing me. Matt House, a lot of times today, put players in position to make plays, and they whiffed. I thought that they gave opportunities for guys like Deshaun Womack, who could have made a couple of plays here and there, and he just unfortunately missed. Same with Harold Perkins. Same with Major Burns, Andre Sam, Javian Toviano. You name it. There was a lot to be left on the field. You, quite honestly, if you make half the tackles that you missed, you're winning this game 35-21 at max. But there's still a lot to be critiqued on with what he's doing on third down. We told you when, at least in the last 2 weeks when we were at practice, that LSU had been running a lot of bump and run man-to-man coverage. And I thought that it messed up a lot of the timing from Tanner Mordecai. The problem, though, is that I have with this team, okay? You let guys like Will Pauling, like none of us going into this game knew who Will Pauling was, the receiver for Wisconsin. Who? Like the old Snoop Dogg meme. Who? Nobody knew who Will Pauling was, but he goes nuts. 8 catches, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Guys, Tanner Mordecai is not a good quarterback. He is not a good quarterback. This is not a good offense. This offense that you played was one of the worst, not only in the country, but in the Big Ten. They ran the ball a lot. Now, their lead back was out, and I understand that. Tanner Mordecai is not a great quarterback. Hasn't been all year long. I think Phil Longo is a really good play caller. You gave him a month to prepare on an LSU team. Maybe that benefited them some. But I think you got to make changes. I think that you got to make changes all across the defensive staff. Some of them are not going to be popular. They're not going to be popular with some of the players, and I understand that. But I'm going to personally, I'm going to say you got to move on. Now, here's the realistic question. Will they? I don't know. I don't know yet. No one has definitively who knows what they're talking about that's in that administration or around Brian Kelly told me that Matt House was leaving. Not definitively. I think that they want him to possibly find a job somewhere else in the NFL maybe and then make a hire. But I like the game plan, which brings me to the point here. You're going to have one hell of an offseason developmental-wise with this team on defense. Like, again, Matt House is not a good DC, and I am not going to argue with you. Not going to argue with you. You can't miss all those plays that he put you in a position to make. Guys, they ran outside zone like 17 times today. Outside zone. You couldn't stop that shit if you wanted to. Over and over and over and over and over again. 17 times. After they ran it for the 5th time, I started marking it down in this handy-dandy black notebook that's got all my deep, dark LSU secrets in it. And you could not stop shit. At some point, and I know that you probably hate on me trashing players. I'm not trashing anybody. I'm not trashing anybody. I'm telling you realistically what just happened on the field. You got to make plays. Like, you got to make plays. So you can hate me for it. You can hate anybody who says the same thing for it. But deep down that you know, when Whit Weeks, as an example, has a chance and is coming on a free blitz on the outside on a quarterback who, let's just call it what it is slower than molasses in the wintertime. Tanner Mordecai, yeah, he's a decent little athlete. He ain't got shit on Whit Weeks. You got to be able to bring him down. Exactly like you did in that very last drive defensively when you got the strip sack by Jefferson, you got the sack by Wingo, and then you got the sack by Greg Penn. Those are the things that you got to do. Even if you get 2 of those. Like, you got to make plays, man. All right. Let's get to a couple of your comments because I do see some super chats in here. But bottom line is we got a long pause, but we have a long off season that these guys are going to have to develop and develop quickly. Because if you look, man, I'm just telling you, I think Jordan Gilbert, the safety coming in from A&M, has shown that he can play in the SEC. He's shown that he can be a good one. But guys like Kylan Jackson, can Deshaun McBride from Denham, can any one of these corners that are coming in like PJ Woodland, whoever it may be, can we find some dudes that can play? Now, yesterday at midnight, or today at midnight, technically it was 11 a.m., which, by the way, just going to throw this in there for the chat, 16 hours before it was official, we put on our message board, ayssnetwork.com/forum, we put our crystal ball pick in, which we call Ben's picks, for Don McKinley to LSU. You got 9 out of 10 of the top recruits from the state of Louisiana in this recruiting class. 9 of the 10. It's never happened. Last time it happened was 2001. You know who was here in 2001? You remember who was here in 2001. You got to develop. You got to recruit. Your top 7 recruiting class in the country, I don't think that that's bad. But you're going to have to develop and hope some of these freshmen early hit so that you can be better defensively. Don McKinley yesterday committed and flipped his pick from A&M to LSU. It's a, can he come in and make some really good things happen? I think he's had a great All-American week, a really good All-American week, where he didn't do some good things during the season at Acadiana. He's had one hell of an All-American week, and we'll see how he does in a couple of days. But I would make a change on staff members. I would make a change on play calling defensively. I don't know if they're going to do that, and we'll just have to wait and see how it progresses. Maybe another offseason helps this defense. We'll see. All right, send in your Super Chats. You can send in your Super Chats. Thoughts, questions, concerns. Throw them inside the chat, the Rudy Crew chat. We'll get to all those Super Chats and get to as many of them as we can, the other comments as well. But if you want something read, put it in the Super Chat. Arctic Tiger with a $199 Super Chat says, undefeated so far in 2024. Boom. Thank you for the Super Chat. TCT with a $20 Super Chat. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Says STTB. I think you left out a D there. Pause. He says, thank you for capping each week of my college football routine. You've been a great find, and I'm hoping for your channel to grow. Thank you so much for that, man. From an LSU fan living in Alabama, do you think we'll close in on Terry Bussey? I think they're pushing for Terry Bussey. And could Terry Bussey be a guy that could come in and play for you, the 5-star out of Texas, Timpson, Texas? Could he come in and play for you immediately? You need players. You need dudes. Guys, it's not like, look, you need dudes like what you did today that you can just roll out there and go man-on-man coverage and win. You didn't have a lot of that happening today. You had some of it, but you didn't have a lot of that happening today. And you're going to have to get better there, or you're going to have a lot of the same stuff. Now, I saw a lot of good stuff in practice from a guy like Ashton Stamps. Today, it did not translate. Pauline and Green and those boys, they pieced our young boundary corners up. They pieced them up. I mean, guys, we're acting like, don't act as if like Tanner Mordecai is the second coming of Jesus Christ, because he's not. I mean, the dude's so far away from Jesus Christ, he probably even can't even take communion. All right. But the bottom line is, you got to be able to win. I love the game plan on sending pressure. If you're that bad, it's what we called for all year long. It's 1,000% on these postgame shows every single week what I was begging Matt House to do. Begging. If you're not going to win on the outside, if you can't cover anybody, send the heat. Send the house, pun intended. With that being said, though, you're going to need guys like Bussey who can come in here and win one-on-one matchups. Or you're going to have a lot of the same stuff. I do think you got some guys in this recruiting class that can do that. But if you don't start winning some of those one-on-ones, guys, you're not changing shit. Barry B with a $5 super chat says, worst defensive performance of the year considering the offense they were playing against. I don't think it's the worst defensive performance, Barry B, to be honest with you. I get what you're saying. It was lackluster. It wasn't great. But you made some stops there. I'm trying to think. Bama was really bad, man. Bama was really bad. A&M played a third-string quarterback, a lefty, and they had nobody. Yeah, I don't think. To me, I don't think it's the worst defensive performance. I think I go Bama. It's the worst defensive performance because you had a week to prepare. You had so many things. I mean, you just didn't change anything. You didn't even put a spy on Jalen Milroe, and they play tonight. What's that game start at 5:00? Right. So we'll see how they do. But I don't know if it's the worst defensive performance. Thank you for the super chat, but it's up there. It's certainly up there. You can't send in your super chats. We'll get to your thoughts and questions. Corey Rogers with a $199 super chat says Phil Parker, I'm assuming DC, Bo Davis, Seth Wallace, top 5 defense. Phil Parker's not coming here. I mean, Phil Parker's not coming here. So I hate to tell people, he's not coming here. I'm trying to be, I'm not trying to be that guy. He's just not going to come here. And it sucks, but he's not going to come here. Now, Bo Davis, on the other hand, you know what else? Because I'm just going down this. You know what else, too? Let's just see what happens. I don't know about the Bo Davis thing. Do I think that they're entertaining it? Here, I'm going to take the gloves off. New year, new me. New year, new Blake. Do I think that they've had conversations with Bo Davis? Yes, I do. I think they had conversations with Bo Davis when they hired Jimmy Lindsey. How many times has BK had a chance to go hire Bo Davis and didn't? Now, you're in a little bit more desperation here. Like this go around, this team, you're in a little bit more of a desperation mode. But I'm not confident. If someone asked me, like, gun to my head, Blake, what do you think about Bo Davis? I'd say it's 50-50 at best that he comes back here. Because, guys, Texas might beat Washington tonight and play for a national title in a week or 2 weeks. Now, do I believe that guys like Don McKinley have been told who their D-line coach will be? Probably. But I don't know. I do not know that. Would love it, but we'll see. Arctic Tiger again with the $199 super chat says, last 2 years we have given up 30 plus a game against the Power 5. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. That quite honestly, that's horrible. And look, you play teams next year like Oklahoma. You play teams next year like Ole Miss, Alabama, USC. And be real with you. Look, man, did y'all see Miller Moss at USC? I mean, UCLA, Chip Kelly's an offensive-minded dude. You can't allow these things to happen. Or either you're going to have to hold everybody to 30 points and hope that you can get to 35, or you're just it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable to give up that many points per game in the Power 5. It's not. And especially you being LSU. Like, that's not – you can't do that here. Guys, we have fired people for less. We have let people walk from LSU for less. Even under the Brian Kelly era. You can't – that cannot happen. Thank you, Arctic, for the super chat. Chris Dreamless JOD with a $5 super chat says, thoughts on the DC change? I would do it personally. Personally, I would go after, or I would kick the tires on guys like Blake Baker. I'd kick the tires on Guidry out of Miami. There's so many different dudes I kick the tires on. You can't be, it cannot be, it will not be worse. It will not be worse. Now, tomorrow, let's see what tomorrow brings. Tomorrow, there's no telling what's going to happen tomorrow. No telling what will happen. Guys could be resigning, getting fired, going elsewhere. Shit, it could happen tonight. Right? Like it could easily start tonight. Listen to this. This is Todd Politz. Says the most recent fourth quarter comeback win by LSU in a bowl game was in 2020 versus Georgia Tech in the Peach Bowl. LSU also wore purple. In 2000, LSU trailed 14-9 going into the fourth quarter, won 28-14. In 2024, LSU trailed 31-28 entering the fourth quarter, won 35-31. Maybe the purple jerseys give you a little bit of a spark, man. Maybe they give you a little bit of a spark. But one thing that's not giving you a spark is Matt House. So yeah, I would definitely make some changes. Michael Morse sends a $1 or $2 super chat. Says Ole Miss was by far worse in my opinion. Oh God, yeah. Ole Miss was I didn't even think about Ole Miss. Ole Miss was a horrible defensive effort. Ass. Hal on YouTube with a $199 super chat says, what would you do with Harold Perkins Jr. on defense in 2024? Personally, I would get him to rush the passer more. I would still put him in some of the same stuff that he had been doing. I would just be exotic with him. You know, like I would move him around. I would make him rush. I would make him go in zone. But in zone in the middle of the field, I would not put him towards the boundary. Him going to the sidelines and let me give an example. Okay. What Perkins did a lot this year was he would go in the flat to the middle third of your defense on one side of the field. Doing that to him, okay, limits where he could be at any given moment. So he's just going to be on this side. Well, you know what? Let me attack the left side of LSU's defense. I'm going to go away from him. Putting him more in the middle, at least in zone or blitzing or whatever it is, exactly what he did in 2022 changes the game for you. The reason that he made so many plays in 2022, he would rush off the edge. He would play zone defense through the middle. I mean, why you changed that, I don't know. He would spy. He would do different things. Now, Harold Perkins got hurt at the end of the game. He was not in the game when LSU got those 3 sacks there at the end. Looks like he's got a left arm injury. He was in a sling. So we'll see. I mean, obviously he'll be ready to go next year. Not going to hold him out on anything, but yeah. One thing we hadn't talked about either is it's taken me 30 plus minutes to talk about this. We do have a new all-time leader in receiving yards for LSU football, that being Malik Neighbors. Congratulations to Malik Neighbors. He did not play in the second half. Didn't want him to play in the second half. He's got too much to look forward to. Glad that him and Jaden were there with the team to support the team. But, guys, the truth is, even if you would have lost today, they got more to lose than for them to, more to lose if they got hurt. Like, for example, when Kyron Lacey went down, he's holding his knee. I'm like, man, this sucks. What if that would have happened to a Malik Neighbors? Now, I know that Lacey came back in, but you don't want to see that shit. Why would you want to see that stupid shit? I don't, not for a meaningless bowl game. Now, if you're in the playoff, I mean, clearly there are things, okay, but I don't want to see that shit. Glad he got the record. He's the all-time leading receiver in LSU's football's history. Good on him. So congratulations to Malik Neighbors. Happy for everything that he has done and he has accomplished at LSU. He has been a Tiger through and through, begged and worked for that offer for so long until Ed finally gave it to him. And he's been nothing but an exceptional Tiger. He's been an exceptional Tiger through and through. So happy for Malik. I'm happy for even guys like Brian Thomas Jr. Like really happy for guys like Brian Thomas Jr. as well. Okay. Show of thumbs inside the super chat. Give me a thumbs up. Do you want us to take phone calls? Because I think we're going to take some phone calls here. And I want your reaction. Give me a reaction to the game today. Give me some reaction on what you think going into the future and just the season. Give me your overall assessment of the game, season, anything you want to talk about. This is our last 2023 season post-game show. Now, obviously, you know that we do post-game shows for some basketball, not a lot, but we do them for baseball for sure. So we're going to take some phone calls. We'll take some phone calls. So let me just do this really quickly. Let me set everything up, and we'll take your phone calls. 225-435-9387. That's 225-435-9387. We'll round out our last football season 2023 postgame show. Let's talk about our good friends at betonline.ag. Don't go anywhere. We're back in 30 seconds. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way for you to wager on all of your favorite sports, contests, events with the first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews for all the news for each league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, college sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all of your sports information for live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head on over to BetOnline today and use your mobile device to join and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BELIEVE50, BLEAV 50, to receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, betonline.ag. We're back. We are back. 225-435-9387. You want to call in, you can. We will take your phone calls here today. Mac 30 says Savion put on more weight and it slowed him down this year. I agree with that. I 1000% agree with that. Now look, they got so many things that they have to figure out defensively. So many things that they have to figure out defensively. Let's hope that they can. All right, you're on the phone with Blake Ruffino. This is the AYS postgame show. You hung up on me. All right. Well, we did have a caller there. Don says, hey, Blake, your boy Hilton is looking good. Yeah, he's looking good. Had a great game. So we'll see how he continues to progress, but he had a great game. Had the touchdown early. Look good. All right, you're on the phone with Blake Ruffino. This is the AYS postgame show. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to? Happy New Year to you. What'd you think of the game? What'd you think of the season? Mm-hmm.
And in our system has really helped it. What do you think?
All right. The chat said they couldn't hear you. Chat, let me know in the comments if you can you repeat what you just said? So we'll start over. Repeat what you just said. See if they can hear.
Okay, I'll just paraphrase. I was happy. I'm obviously happy that the LSU obviously got the W. I'm happy for the players, but I'm really, really happy for Garrett Nussmeier. Here's a guy that's been in our system for 3 years, finally got his turn to start, and I really thought after a slow start, starting from the second quarter on, I thought he played a fantastic football game. Yes, he missed some throws. Yes, he missed some reads. But the one thing that I really noticed that I was really impressed with him is the fact that he was known as the quote unquote gunslinger.
Right.
And what I saw today was a guy that he made the easy throws to his running backs. He checked it down. He didn't force anything down the field that wasn't there. He was in my opinion, I thought that he was in complete control from start to finish of what he did today on the football field. What did you think?
I thought that, I thought that he didn't panic, right? Like I thought that when things did not go his way, where I thought in the beginning of his tenure, Nussmeier's tenure at LSU, that he would force things and he would rush and he would panic. Okay, here's what the biggest thing about Nuss for me today was: the check downs, not trying to force things, but not panicking, right? Like being down 14-0 and then being down 28-14, he just fires back and just comes back in a flurry. And look, I tweeted this, okay? I tweeted, he's got to take shots down the field. Like, don't let coaching hinder you so much where you just completely change who you are. Well, then he starts throwing the ball down the field. He gets the completions. He starts making things happen. I was really impressed by Garrett Nussmeier today, but he's still got a lot of growing to do. Okay,
no question. No question.
The interception that he threw, he's rolling left. He's trying to make an acrobatic throw. I don't want the acrobatic throw. Get yards. Get
me neither.
Okay, that's what makes guys like Jane Daniels elite. Like, hey man, I might be able to make this throw, but I sure as shit could get 10 yards and slide. Those are things that I think that he's got to work on down the stretch that I think they will. But I was very and highly impressed by Garrett Nussmeier today.
I was too. All right, moving on to the defense real quick if you got the time.
Yeah, we got time for one more, brother.
Look, I mean, the way at times in the first half, the way we started the third quarter, I wasn't so sure if I wasn't more shocked that we won today's game or the fact that we ended the game on a blitz, because we hadn't hardly blitzed at all this entire year. Were you the only one surprised, or was it just me?
I was surprised by their game plan because they didn't change shit all year long. And so when you don't change stuff all year long and then you're blitzing on third down, you're sending more guys than they have in to block. And I'm like, well, let me tell you what it honestly felt like. Can I tell you what it honestly felt like? It felt like Matt House didn't call the defense. It felt like today.
That's interesting. You're right. That's very true.
Right. It felt like he did not call the defense. It felt like somebody else called it. Now, I have not heard that. I have not been told that. But they didn't do anything different all year long. Why are they doing something different now? That's a question that, and I'm not able to be at the Brian Kelly press conference. The first question I would ask Brian Kelly right now today: what changed schematically on defense? And I would make him answer it. So that's what I thought. Thank you so much for the phone call, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks for what you do, man. I love you, man. Thank you, buddy. Have a great new year.
You too, man. Happy New Year. You can call in. Sorry about the no audio. I am sorry about the no audio. That is on us. New year, same Blake. 225-435-9387. If you don't want to call in, you want to send in a super chat, you can do that as well. All right, you're on the phone with Blake Ruffino. This is the AYS postgame show. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to?
Yeah, this is Jimmy from Baton Rouge. I just finished, watching the game and everything. I'm driving through. I'm listening to your podcast right now. But I just want to say that was a tough game. Shout out to Wisconsin for giving us beat down, and we did everything we can. I'm looking forward for the future for this team, and hopefully Matt House will not be here.
They gave us a beat down, is what you said?
Yeah, like they push us to a limit, and we fight back. We never gave up, and that's how I like it.
Oh, I got you. I appreciate the phone call, buddy. I do. I am looking forward to what next year can bring. I appreciate the phone call.
Appreciate you.
All right. 225-435-9387. If you got something to say, game, season. If you come in, make a good point. Don't say, "Hey man, they beat us down." You didn't get beat down. Defensively, you did not look great. Yeah. Brian Kelly in his post-game press conference said once Malik Neighbors got the receiving yardage record, Brian Kelly made the decision to pull him, said that Neighbors fought him on it a little, but Kelly made the ultimate decision to pull Malik Neighbors out of the bowl game. Good for him. All right, you're on the phone with Blake Rufino. This is the AYS post-game show. I have a feeling that a jingle is coming on this phone call. Good evening, Tyler Alexander. Tyler, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, can you turn the show down in the background for me, brother?
Yep.
All right, the guy I brought in the new year with is on the phone, Tyler Alexander, LPT Realty. Good evening, good sir. What did you think of the game?
Oh, well, man, I was watching it, and I think the second half adjustments that were made were a little different than what we've seen all year. And I'm kind of with you on, the second half play calling. I think it was a little bit different. And I'm excited for what's going to be in store for 2024 and seeing if we can make some changes on defense. And so I just wanted to call in and see what's your thoughts on the game and what you think is going to happen in 2024.
I like the different schematical things that you did defensively. I'm starting to question how much at times is it personnel and coaching, because I do think that Matt House did put this defense in a lot of good positions and they did not make plays. That's number one. My second thought is, and this is in no specific order, my second thought is I thought that Garrett Nussmeier, if he cleaned some things up, which again, it's start number one, I'm not going to obliterate him on really anything that he did. I mean, Tyler was his first start. He had 395 yards and 3 touchdowns, right? I think offensively, You got a lot of good weapons. You got a lot of good players. And I think you got a really good offensive line that's going to develop, get stronger and bigger. I like the direction that you're going in some spots. The question that I think it comes down to, okay, what can you do defensively? Because again, how many times are the dudes getting shook in the open field by guys like Will Pauling? Bro, they had a white running back in the backfield, and he's shaking dudes in the open field and picking up a first down. That cannot happen. So, and for 2024, I think there's got to be a lot of development on the defensive side, or you're going to see a lot of the same things next year, personally.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with that. I mean, I think the offense looked fantastic. I mean, I know a lot of people will shoot down Nuss, for the scoring, but I don't think a lot of it was on Nuss. When you establish the running game, I think it's a lot different. I think passing-wise, he looked great. He didn't stretch the ball downfield. He didn't take risks like he did, when he was subbed into the game in the middle of the year this year and the Alabama game and stuff. So I think he looked great, running that offense the way it was. And even, you got to take into account that Malik didn't play the second half. And he looked, in my opinion, better in the second half without Malik than he did in the first half. So
Right.
I'm with you, man. I hope some changes are coming on the defensive side in the second half. And I just want to stop and also say that you are the GOAT of LSU podcast, and you're the best there is. So that's that.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Happy New Year to you, and we'll talk soon.
Absolutely. Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year. That's Tyler Alexander, our realtor over here at AYS LPT Realty. The number 2 realtor in the entire state of Louisiana. Dude is killing it. If you want to sell your home, if you're in real estate, you want to join his team, you need to give him a call, 225-955-0008. All right, you're on the phone with Blake Rufino. This is the AYS postgame show. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to?
Hey, Blake, it's Dakota.
Hey, Dakota, what'd you think of the game?
Well, first off, I want to wish you a happy New Year. Second off, I wanted to say, we started off really slow. Our offense didn't really start well. I thought Nussmeier played a heck of a game. The pick was on him. He's got to not do that, but it's part of football, but our defense did not play good at all until like the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, our defense needs some work, real big time.
Yeah, they need some work, and they need, quite honestly, I think they need some infusion of talent. I think they do need some infusion of talent, but I think it's a mixture of a lot of things. Number one, I think it's a mixture of that you got to get better at play calling on third downs. You got to get better at knowing when to send pressure, knowing when not to, coaching, being better at coaching, and telling guys how to tackle. Guys, I mean, we've been so bad at tackling at times, it's abysmal. So I'll just say we got to fix a lot of things. The biggest thing that I want to see moving into 2024 is, can you just make open field tackles? That's all I want to see.
Not only that, Blake, but like we're letting Mordecai, that's his name, right? The Wisconsin.
Yeah,
we're making him look like he's
Jaden Daniels.
He's out here running all over. Yeah. Well, he's not as fast as him, but you get what I mean. Like, he's out here running all over us, and we can't even tackle him. Like, that's. I mean, I do think we're gonna step it up. I mean, Brian Kelly should know that we need to. I mean, he's not stupid. He's gonna get these guys coached, but we can't look like this next year. Teams are gonna make us look like, you know what I mean.
Well, you won't have guys like Jaden Daniels to bail you out. I don't think it's fair to Nuss for him to have to rely on him bailing you out every week, because there's going to be games where he's off, right? Like, he's going to have games where he's off. And so you just cannot allow for Garrett to have to bail you out every week, or you're going to be looking at 8-4, staring 8-4 in the face. Now, you got a long way to go, right? You got a long way to go. But
right,
you know, it doesn't feel great at times on what you should be doing. What else do you think?
I was thinking of the game.
Yeah, what else do you think of the game?
Well, I'm glad they didn't score in that late drive, man. That, I don't know if you agree with me, but that almost gave me a heart attack watching that last drive.
Yeah, I mean, look, Dakota, quite honestly, and to kind of wrap it up with you here, yes,
sir.
I just don't. I kind of feel like I don't expect anything less. You know, like, I don't expect you to take care of business and blow a team like this out. I kind of, and that's why in my pregame, like, score prediction, it was 35-28, because I honestly did not feel that you had I just feel like you would have the opportunity to blow them out, but that you never would. So you shoulda, you coulda, but they didn't. So it's all the cardiac Tigers, brother.
All right. I won't keep you, Blake. Hope you have a happy New Year.
All right. Thanks, man. Happy New Year to you, too. All right. This is Blake Ruffino. You're on the phone with on the AYS postgame show. What did you think of the game?
Well, hi, Blake. My name's Hakeem, man. I'm calling from just outside ATL, NOLA native, man. Love your show, bro. First time calling.
Appreciate it. What did you think of the game?
Just like what you lamented, you know what I'm saying, on a few things. I think those young corners, to me, the secondary, you know, I mean, I want to believe in Stamps and Toviano, but I'm like you, man. I don't know if it's mostly, you know, the coaching, or if it's just we just need another infusion of talent, man. Yes, we cannot tackle guys in the open field. That's very concerning. And, you know, it's kind of tough. I mean, and the schedule's going to challenge us early next year, because, you know, we got UCLA and USC.
Very early.
You know what I'm saying?
Very early.
Yeah, man. So, you know, can Juwan Johnson and McBride, you know, those guys that's coming in, can they make a difference? Because, you know, Major Burns is out there celebrating, and he was, you know what I'm saying, for every tackle he made, but he missed about 10 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
can we just stop? Can I just stop you right there on one thing? Okay.
Yes, sir.
There's not one thing that drives me more insane than a dude like doing the whole, like, you know, the finger underneath the nose and point, you know, what the fuck are you doing? You know, like, what the fuck are you doing? He just ran for 14 yards and got a first down, and you're like bowing up on him that you got to tackle. That shit, I hate that shit.
Yeah, man. Come on, bro. Yeah, like, hey, he got a first down. Like, yeah, he flexed. I mean, Yeah,
I
bro.
mean, come on, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, you got me on that one too, man. But yeah, that's basically my thought. I thought for his first start though, Garrett Nussmeier, 395, 3 touchdowns. He did throw the one pick. I think the adjustment that really will help him next season, I think by him being a pocket passer, we have to implement the run game to go ahead and protect him from himself, because we know he's gonna slang it. You know what I'm saying? But I think we have to, run the football better to protect him from himself. And I think Nuss will be okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't need him to be Brett Favre.
That's the one thing that I don't like that what you did today. I don't think that you were good enough in the running game. Look, you got Noah Kane, Josh Williams leading, and I know that you rotate backs in and out. That's a Frank staple. Having Caleb Jackson only get 3 touches the entire game is asinine to me.
Absolutely. And he scored a touchdown on one of those 3 touches. So
That's right. That's stupid to me. You got to get him more touches. I think they will, but you just got to get him some more carry. I appreciate the phone call, my man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Keep doing you.
Again.
All
right. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir.
So look, we're going to, because me and Joe are doing the post-game show. The post-game show after the playoff games tonight. So I got to start getting ready, but we do got some super chats in here. Michael Moore says, why would he pull Malik Neighbors 8 but not Brian Thomas or BTJ? I think number one, because it's like you're for sure, right? Like you're 1,000% for sure. If you're Brian Thomas Jr. or Malik Neighbors, you're probably going to be a top 10, 12 pick. I don't know if Brian Thomas Jr., even though we believe and think that he will be a first-round pick and know that he'll work himself into a first-round pick, like going to the combine and stuff like that, I don't know if it's a foregone conclusion. That would be my opinion on why they did it. Any chances Brian Thomas Jr. is staying? I don't think he's staying. I don't. That man ain't staying here. I know he said he'd make his decision. He'll announce it soon. That man ain't staying here. D. Smith with 499 super chat says, I think this proves that maybe we need to target secondary corners more important. I agree with that. And he also says, bring me Bo Davis. Wouldn't mind Chevis Jackson either. I love the Chevis Jackson thing. Why do you think personnel changes? When do you think personnel changes will be made? If so, Caleb Jackson just made himself RB1. Thank you so much for the both $4.99 super chats. Number one, it's of my opinion that I think personnel changes are coming, could even start tomorrow. I think you need to be ready for a roller coaster of things to come Tuesday or tomorrow. I think that there's going to be some crazy things that could happen. Listen to me. Don't overreact. Stay somewhat mellow because there's always a plan. But I do think things start tomorrow. I think you start seeing things change tomorrow. Guys going in the draft, maybe a guy or two going in the portal, maybe a guy moving on from the coaching staff, then some hires potentially. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, I got to start preparing for these post-game shows and these playoff games. Go over to Ruffino and Joe. We will be live tonight on Ruffino and Joe YouTube channel and on our Facebook channel. After the playoff games, we'll be here live, so stay with us. Thank you so much for another great year of these post-game shows. I cannot do it without you, dude. I cannot do it without you. It means so much that you decide to join us every single week. Thank you so much. And here's to another great year, another 10-win year for LSU, the LSU Tigers. Thanks to the producers. Thanks to Believe. Thanks to everybody who helps us in these post-game shows. We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll do a lot of post-game shows for LSU baseball too, so it's good to have you here with us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Peace.